Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Sword and the Kodan Armada. Get ready? Prepare for blast off.
Your fortress of solitude.
Greetings, program!
When you're alive.
Your sanctum sanctorum.
Resistance is futile.
Welcome.
Vision most triumphant. This is where the fun begins.
Proof positive that geeks have inherited the earth.
It's showtime.
It's time to get your geek on with Dave Gramillion.
Yeah. All right, welcome here. I am Dave Gramillion, your geek of geeks, here on Get Your Geek On. Welcome one, welcome all. We are here to talk Star Wars, Star Trek, DC, Marvel, video gaming, all things geek that have dominated this little world of ours. Geek, it's not what it was 20 or 30 years ago, right? I mean, geek is in. Geek is very in. And if you're listening to this, odds are there's some geek in you somewhere. Geek is now mainstream. I mean, now you have investment bankers wearing Avengers ties to work. You have SeaWorld and Six Flags employees that are geeking out. I mean, there's the Superman Krypton coaster. There's Batman rides. It's all about geek, and it's all about being geek right now. Let me tell you something. We are here, AM 930 KLUP Talk Radio, and also at www.930amtheanswer.com. If you're listening to us live here on the radio, thanks for listening. Really appreciate you as you drive around San Antonio. If you're listening from the future, do what you can to send back the Powerball numbers. That'd be fantastic. Hop in your TARDIS. Let us know. That'd be great. All righty. Let's get this show underway here. I have to admit, I'm not at my peak right now. I'm not at the top of my game. I'm a little miffed. I'm a little miffed after I heard on Thursday what happened. Yeah, we're going to get into that. Let me go ahead, start the show off right. Do I have a refreshing beverage to go ahead and keep the wet my whistle and keep my throat clear? Do I have that? Yes, I do. That'll work. You gotta have a back scratcher. I still don't understand how radio talk show hosts do like 3-hour shows or 4-hour shows without a back scratcher. I don't get it. It's $1. The thing costs $1. Why not have one? And then of course you gotta have the one, the only hashtag Old Blue. Yes, if you're going to do a geeky talk show, you might as well have a lightsaber in the house. All right, so what do we have going on today? We're going to talk about Anton Yelchin, killed earlier this week by his Jeep. We'll give him a nice little send-off. We have some other Trek news as well. This one, I haven't had a rant on this. This is only our second episode here, so you haven't really heard me go on a rant yet. If you're a veteran from my podcasting days, you know what's coming. You just brace yourself, all right? Buckle in, strap in, get ready. I'm going to go on a rant here towards CBS and Paramount before the break. After the break, we're going to talk some more Star Wars Rogue One details. Entertainment Weekly gets the scoop, the exclusive news from Lucasfilm, all sorts of news on the upcoming. It's going to be a blockbuster. I mean, let's just go ahead and call it that now. It's going to make $1 billion. You know that at the box office. So that's we got news coming out. And the Chewbacca mom. Has this really gone too far? Is enough enough? Who's to blame? I mean, we all want to point fingers at somebody nowadays, and I'm going to tell you who to point the finger at coming up after the break. All righty, so let's go ahead and we'll get started here. Anton Yelchin, sad news. Really sad news. He was 27 years old, played Chekhov in the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies. You remember the guy who had the authorization code that had Wechter 2? We all laughed at that, yes. I actually give J.J. a little credit for having that because that was one of the funniest moments of Star Trek 4 when he was saying nuclear vessels and everyone was just laughing. Nice kid by all accounts, and he was killed. He got out of his Jeep to check his mail, and he left it like at the top of a steep drive or driveway or something like that. And it, unfortunately, it was in park, and then it shifted to neutral, rolled down, pinned him between the car and the gate, and well, that was all she wrote. So The National Highway Traffic Highway Safety, whatever, it's a government. I'm screwing the acronym up, but it's the government. The government says that an average of 93 people per year and another 2,000 per year are injured. Well, you know what? That's badly written. My goodness. Who put these show notes together? Oh, that would be that. Yeah, that's me. 93 people a year are killed and another 2,000 are injured in a similar manner every year. Gee whiz. All right. So for poor old Anton, let's give him a proper send-off. All right, farewell, Anton. Godspeed, warp speed. Set a course for home there, good sir. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit of a segue into some other Trek news. I wanted to bash Chris Pine over the head for what he said earlier, but then CBS and Paramount made this stupid announcement, and I have an exclusive quote here from Albin Johnson, the founder of the 501st Legion. We're going to be telling you about that in a little bit here, but let's go ahead and cue it up and hit the music here, shall we?
Yeah, if you see Klingons, better make sure that your face is out. And if you're in the fleet, rep your uniform, cause it's future chic. All the haters know, we got photon torpedoes. Throw the Vulcan up if you're not from Romulus, and stay with me now, live long and prosperous.
Alrighty. Okay, so here's some Star Trek news for you. So Chris Pine came out and said that you can't do a cerebral Star Trek movie in 2016 because it's like goes over the audience's head. And actually, in a way, I kind of agree with him. If you look at the box office, yeah, sure, The Martian and Gravity did pretty well, but there's no question that the highest grossing Star Trek movies at the box office were the JJ movies, and it's explosions and planets blowing up. And I'm sorry, but as lousy as the Michael Bay movies are, they make money. They make a ton of money. They make truckloads of money, and they're explosions and Megan Fox in short shorts, and that it sells. So I was getting ready. I had a whole just mess of show notes here ready to go about Chris Pine. And then CBS and Paramount came out and dropped the bomb on Thursday. What they did was they have officially become, as far as I know, the first company to say what can and cannot be a fan film. I can't even wrap my head around this. Okay. I just can't. I mean, if you ever had a camcorder? I mean, people have been making fan films since they had camcorders. And no, I don't mean the cute little handheld ones. I mean, the big bulky ones. My older brother used to make little fan films. And, that's what you did. You make Indiana Jones fan films and Star Wars fan films and Star Trek fan films and, in your backyard and all that fun stuff. Well, Paramount and CBS have cracked down. They've cracked the whip. They've decided that enough is apparently too much. And so they have decided to come down and say what is not a fan film and what you can be sued for and what you cannot be sued for. I'm not going to read the entire guidelines because let's see here. I have it right here in my hand. There's 10 of them. It's like an anti-Bill of Rights. That's what I'm going to call it, an anti-Bill of Rights, because there's 10 amendments to the, makes it the Bill of Rights. Well, there's 10 of these stupid things. I'm going to read some of the highlights for you. All right, you ready? The fan production must be less than 15 minutes for a single self-contained story or no more than 2 segments, not to exceed 30 minutes total. Well, there goes Axanar, doesn't it? If you haven't seen the trailer for Prelude to Axanar, I strongly recommend it. Alec Peters, I've talked to him before, good guy. He's just trying to make this really good-looking fan film. And, well, There goes that idea because it's longer than 30 minutes. The title of the fan production or any parts cannot include the name Star Trek. So you can make a Star Trek fan film, you just can't call it Star Trek. Instead, you must say it is a Star Trek fan production in plain typeface. Okay. I guess I can kind of see that. That's okay. But here's one that... God, this one really gets to me. If the fan production uses commercially available Star Trek uniforms, accessories, toys, and props, these items must be official merchandise, not bootleg items or imitations of the commercially available products. So what does that mean? You can't make your own stuff. You can't make your own phaser. You can't make your own tricorder. You can't sew your own costumes. You know how much money this is going to cost to do a fan film you want to put out there now? You have to go out there and buy the actual merchandise. The fan production must be a real fan production, i.e. creators, actors, and all that must be amateurs. They cannot be compensated for their services. So if you and your buddies want to get together and you want to throw a little money their way to compensate for their time, no, you can't do that. Sorry. Purely volunteer. Oh, and it gets better. They're not going to tell you how much money you can raise too. That's right. You want to put your own fan film together? Yeah, CBS and Paramount, executives in big suits sitting up at a corporate office somewhere are telling you how much money you can raise to film something in your backyard. Yeah, here it is. All right. So, blah, 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 legalese, blah, 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 written by an attorney, blah, 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 so long as the total amount does not exceed $50,000. When the goal of $50,000 is reached, all fundraising must cease. This now limits what you can do to basically your backyard. You want to do a studio production? You want to do a really, really solid fan film that maybe you can sell one day? No, you can't do it anymore. You got $50,000 and that's it. They're now telling you how much money you can fundraise. What a... Okay, all right. The fan production must be family-friendly and suitable for public presentation. Videos must not include any nudity. Okay, yeah. Obscenity. Okay. Pornography. Yeah. Depiction of drugs, alcohol, tobacco, or any harmful or illegal activity. Excuse me, weren't there entire Star Trek episodes about Kirk flipping out because he was on something? What about that little toy that Wesley Crusher put on? That was an addictive substance. They said it was an addictive substance. There are whole episodes about that. What? Depiction of drugs, alcohol, tobacco, or any harmful illegal activity. What exactly is a harmful activity? Oh, give me a break here. Okay, all right. Creators of fan productions must not seek to register their works or any elements of the works under copyright or trademark law. So what you make is not yours. Now that's not necessarily new. Star Wars does that also. If you have a fan fiction and you send it to Star Wars and they love it and they make a movie out of it and they make $1 billion, it's theirs. Sorry, that's the way it works. But oh my Lord. And it goes on and on and on. It's garbage. It's draconian. It's tyrannical. It's crazy. In fact, we have Sir Patrick Stewart. I believe he gave us an exclusive quote. Let's hear. Sir Patrick, what are your thoughts on all this, please?
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther. I will make them pay for what they've done.
There, Sir Patrick Stewart, thank you very much for that quote, sir. I do appreciate it. I thought maybe he might have said it in a movie somewhere, but no, I think it's fine. It's exclusively just us here. We also have Leonard Nimoy. Leonard, I'm stunned that you're talking to us here from beyond the grave. What do you have for us, sir?
If I were human, I believe my response would be, go to hell. If I were human.
If he was human, of course. I mean, yeah. And I believe we have one other quote. We have a mystery guest quote. That's somebody who just he was desperate to just call in and leave us a comment here. Go right ahead.
I think you did a little too much LDS.
Bill Shatner. Bill, appreciate you, sir. You're a fine, upstanding citizen, sir. I also have a quote here, exclusive from Albin Johnson. Albin Johnson is the founder of the famed 501st Legion. If you don't know who they are the largest. They have to be the largest costuming group available. They're official with Lucasfilm. They raise millions and millions of dollars doing their costuming events. They raise money for children all over the world. And he said this, beginning with Next Generation, Star Trek has been historically hindered by short-sighted greed on the part of producers to generate profits over vision. It's clear Star Trek's overlords are too busy guarding their franchise to allow it to become a full-fledged universe, relegating it to second-tier, recycled gimmick status. And what a shame for such a legendary storyline. Albin Johnson from the 501st. Thank you, sir. So the Star Trek community not very happy with this. They're pretty up in arms on this. So, alrighty. Look, Albin Johnson doesn't like it. You heard from Bill Shatner. I mean, that if that doesn't say it right there, I don't know what does. But let me tell you what I think about this. Let me tell you what I think. They're scared. CBS and Paramount are scared. They're a bunch of cowards who sit up there and they want to determine what is and what is not good. And they're worried, honest to God worried, that somebody's going to come up with a better idea, better story than they will, and tell it better. If you've seen the Prelude to Axanar trailer, my God, it looks like Star Trek of old. It's fantastic. It looks good, and they use actual Star Trek actors in it. And they're worried. Oh my God, this is so good. It's going to be a huge hit, and it's going to take some of the shine of the spotlight away from what we're trying to do here. And it drives me absolutely crazy. What I want to do, let's see, Goose, my sound prognosticator. I mean, tell me, am I wrong here? Are they completely insane or just mostly insane?
They're mostly insane. And you can tell that they, by and large, want to protect their franchise for this reason. Every time a major executive named Rick Berman left the series he was working on at the time, that series got better. Deep Space Nine, he left in beginning of season 3 to go do Voyager. That's when it started adopting the arc storyline that we came to love about that show.
And unless I'm mistaken, isn't Rick Berman the producer, director, or whatever of some of the worst Next Generation movies?
He was an executive producer of all 3.5. Because Generations we consider half original, half next gen. He was also executive producer and showrunner of Enterprise for the first 3 seasons. Season 4, Manny Koto took over, and it got much better.
Oh God! But why would they be afraid? I mean, why would you say that they were protective of the franchise? Surely they're not scared of a fan film.
They're afraid that people are not going to embrace the JJ verse like they would embrace something from the Prime universe.
They're coming out now with a term. It's called the Kelvin Kelvin timeline, named after the ship that Kirk's had. Also known as Thor. He was Thor. He's real skinny though. That's kind of, I go back and watch it now and it's weird because he's all skinny. But the Kelvin timeline is now that's the JJ verse.
What's interesting is that the new series that's coming out in 2017 is going to be based in the Prime timeline.
Yeah, going
in
back
the Lost
to the fun
era.
Stuff.
But yeah, they're afraid that they are going to actually be shown for the fools that they are. Because if somebody can make a fan fiction film or a fan fiction franchise that's better and that people are more drawn to than the JJ verse, they're going to lose all kinds of money.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. We got a little time. Look, I'm sure Rick Berman's a fine man. I'm sure
he's not in charge anymore, but he was back then.
I'm sure he means well, but let's face it. The Next Gen movies were not that good.
With the exception of First Contact and Insurrection.
Insurrection? Are you out of your... What? No, I'm sorry. No, hold on. You know what?
Are you out of your Vulcan mind?
Thank you, Carl Urban. Insurrection might be the worst of the Next Gen movies.
Not according to box office.
Well, the box office also likes Transformers. The box office likes Avatar.
I will say this, though. And when you adjust for inflation and when you don't, the bottom 3 are actually the same in both rankings. But we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, God.
And it goes the way you think it would, quite honestly. Insurrection is number 10.
Yeah, Insurrection's awful.
Star Trek 5 is number 11.
Oh, God, they ate beans and sat around a campfire.
Star Trek Nemesis is number 12.
Oh, Oh God, that movie was not good. Nemesis. I think Nemesis probably angers me more than Insurrection or Final Frontier, and here's why. Nemesis had promise because it was the first movie we had about the Romulans.
Yes.
And we're like, oh, finally a movie with no Klingons in it.
And the Remans.
Yes, we had Remans, we had Romulans. We were getting into their culture and the Tal Shiar. And
there was one Klingon in Nemesis.
There was? I missed it. Where?
Worf.
I'm going to throw something at you. God, that doesn't count. Okay, all right. Yeah, Nemesis. Oh, man, I wanted to see so much. I mean, I wanted Tomalak in there. I wanted Romulans. I wanted Remans. I wanted the Tal Shiar. I wanted so much, and they give us that. It was crap.
Yes.
It was crap. It was Wrath of Khan remake garbage.
I wouldn't even dignify that with Wrath of Khan remake.
It was look, people like space battles. Let's give them space battles. And we're like, no, we want substance.
And by then, I think Patrick had even said it was going to be his last Star Trek movie regardless.
Thank God.
That crew deserved better than what they got.
Oh, God, yes, they did. Well, the Next Gen crew did. The movie crew, I mean, look, when you look at the original series...
I'm talking about the cast of the...
I'm saying, look, when you see the original series cast and their movies, they deserved Undiscovered Countries to send off. But when you look at the Next Gen movies, you're like, God, just get them off the screen already. We're done. Marina Sirtis, get off. Patrick Stewart, we're done. Jonathan Frakes, we're done. Get off. We're done with the Next Gen movies. They were that bad.
Except for First Contact and Insurrection. First Contact has got to be
I'm
my second.
I'm going to throw something at you.
First Contact is going to be my second
I'm going to throw
favorite.
something at... Where's my lightsaber?
It's right there.
It's right there? I'm going to stab him. Let's not even mention Insurrection on the show again. Let's just not. Let's just not. It is banned. It is done.
Well, at least First Contact isn't, so I'm okay.
We'll get into that later, another time. All right, so these guys are sitting up there, and they're now telling you what you can and cannot make as a fan film. And I am absolutely appalled. I really am. This reminds me of the Drumhead. It really does. Remember the episode, the TNG episode of Drumhead? One of my favorite episodes because it gets into the ethics. It really does. And I love this speech from Picard. I want to go ahead. Let's go ahead and play that now.
With the first link, the chain is forged. The first speech censured, the first thought forbidden, the first freedom denied.
Yes.
Chains us all irrevocably.
Exactly. Okay, maybe not the first freedom denied because it's a fan. It's not the Bill of Rights. No one's taking away freedom of religion or anything. It's it's a fan film. But I mean these things they
technically
confound
Roddenberry did. There was no religion in Star Trek till Deep Space Nine.
Well, he probably just didn't want to get into it.
Which I can't blame him for that.
Yeah, he wanted to take away from he didn't want anything to take away from his vision of the future. I'm reading through these things, and the more I read through it, the more upset I get. I mean, seriously, you can't
even put it on disc. It's digital only.
Yeah, and not only is it digital only, no DVD, no Blu-ray. Not only that, you can't monetize it. So let's say you make this really outstanding fan film. Maybe you only did it for a couple of bucks. Who cares? Because you'll never see a dime. But Paramount will. CBS will, because they'll take your ideas and they'll give it to Hollywood writers who will make a movie out of it, and you won't see a dime. Now, true, some people, I understand not making fan films for money. I do. I love passionate people. I myself wrote and self-published 3 Star Wars novels. They utterly replaced the prequels. Not that I'm a prequel hater so much. I just disappointed in them is probably the best way to say it. So I understand the passion. It took me 6 years to write these 3 novels. I get fan passion. I love fan passion. I really do. And now CBS and Paramount are saying, yeah, we love your passion too. You can't raise money with it. You have to buy our stuff to make your little fan film. You can't do it in your backyard. You have to do it on certain types of media. You can't monetize it. And the next thing you know, they slap it on a plastic lunchbox, and well, there it is. Unbelievable. It says Yeah, you can't even distribute in any physical format. If you want to go back to VHS, you couldn't even do that. I mean, just incredible. You can't have any banners. You can't have any click-through banners. You can't do anything. They have come crashing down like, I mean, just a behemoth, just cracking down on everything fan film related. And nobody's ever heard anything like this before. Star Wars doesn't do this. Lucasfilm, there's no restriction on fan films, at least not that I've heard of, and I've asked around. Marvel, no restriction. DC, no restriction. You want to make your own Firefly episode, your own Firefly fan film? There's no restriction.
Speaking of Firefly, my wife got me a present the other day.
What'd you get?
Firefly Clue.
Ooh. There's a kind of like a Firefly D&D. I want to try that out too. But this is sad. This is really sad that they could come down like this and be this tyrannical. Coming up after the break, Star Wars Rogue One details. We are definitely going to be talking about that. The Chewbacca mom. Has this gone too far? I mean, really, is enough enough? And don't forget, we also have the Sarlacc pit. We'll be coming back to get our geek on in just a bit. Yeah. Love it. Wow. Oh, yeah. You know, everybody says if you're going to do a geeky talk show, well, that means you're going to play like the Imperial March and you're going to play the Star Trek theme. And you're going to play the Batman theme. Nah, man, let's do some Hendrix. Let's have some fun with this thing. A little funk in there. I love it. All right. I want to talk to you first as we come back from the break here at 9:30 a.m. The Answer, and also www.930amtheanswer.com. Want to talk to you a little bit here first about Alamo City Comics. Alamo City Comics, located on 281, just a little north of Brook Hollow. Fantastic store. A great blend of old and the new. I was walking through there the other day, and I kept looking around like, I used to have that. I used to have that. I used to have that. Oh my God, I used to have all of this. And then they have so much of the new to go with the classic. It's a fantastic store. I hope you go in there and check it out. Alamo City Comics, check them out at alamo-citycomics.com. Okay, so let's have a little fun here. Let's talk about all the fun that's come out recently about Star Wars Rogue One, shall we? Speaking of which, we know who is back in black now, don't we? Yes, on Thursday, I believe it was either late Wednesday or early Thursday, I forget which exactly, Entertainment Weekly has announced the cover of their new magazine, and it's all about Star Wars Rogue One. Entertainment Weekly must know where the bodies are buried because they also had the exclusive scoop on The Force Awakens. They were the first to come out with all these wonderful pictures and interviews and everything like that. And they have done so again with Rogue One. The first big confirmation that we have is Darth Vader is officially back. Duh. We kind of knew about that one. I love reading social media. It's so much fun reading the comments and everyone's like flipping out over Darth Vader being back when we already knew that. I mean, that was... You know, here's another spoiler about Rogue One. There's going to be space battles. Oh my God! It's Star Wars. Although I have yet to have an actual confirmation that stars will actually have a war in Star Wars. Okay, all right. Yeah, that joke fell a little flat, but I blame Robert for that. He'll listen to the podcast. He knows what I'm talking about. Okay, so, not only is Vader back, but we also have confirmation that James Earl Jones will be doing the voice. Once again, he has reprised his role of being the scariest man any telemarketer would ever want to call. Seriously, either him or Liam Neeson. I'm not sure which, But just James Earl, that's kind of interesting. We could take that totally off topic. Who would be the scarier person to listen to? James Earl Jones or Liam Neeson? You know what? Tell me on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO official, because it's the official page. Don't go for the pretenders. No, just don't. But I want to know, who is the scarier person a telemarketer would want to call? James Earl Jones or Liam Neeson? I think they'd be a little more worried about Liam Neeson actually coming after them. So, I mean, just the voice. Which would be the scarier voice? So, James Earl Jones is back. He's doing Darth Vader's voice in Star Wars Rebels, the cartoon animated show on Disney XD. So now he's going to be redoing the voice here as well. We also have some equipment that has been unveiled before us. Stormtroopers are going to be a little bit different, and they're coming out with something that they call TIE Strikers. You have TIE fighters, you have TIE bombers, you have TIE interceptors, and now they have TIE Strikers. I also like to call them, either it's an homage to the original Airplane movie, was it 1980? I think it was, with Ted Stryker. Yeah, I love it. Either that or it's TIE, we want to make more money. Seriously, they could have just used TIE fighters. I'd love to see what makes these Strikers so different, other than it's just one more thing to buy a Lego set of. It's just one more die-cast model you can put up on a shelf somewhere. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out. But there was something in there. They revealed a few details about the movie itself. I want to see if y'all think about this for a minute. All right, let me know. Stop me if you've heard this. They're going to say that Jyn Erso, played by Felicity Jones, quote, has a chance to clear her ledger of past wrongs by leading a... No, hold on. Yeah, I'll get to you here in a second. Hold on. Has a chance to clear her ledger of past wrongs by leading a mission for the good guys. Does that sound familiar to anybody else? Clear her ledger of past wrongs. Could it possibly be Black Widow? You remember from the first Avengers movie when she's talking to Loki? She wants to wipe out her ledger, and your ledger's dripping with blood. Har, 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 har. Insert evil overlord laugh there. So I want to know, it's like, why can't... Really? It's almost like we're typecasting lead women now. They all have to be on a quest for revenge. They all have to clear some past wrong, or I don't know, something crazy like that. It's Black Widow. It is. It's Black Widow Part 2. And then they went on to say this, and this kind of irks me a little bit. This is quoted directly out of the magazine. Don't take my word for it. It's there in the magazine. This will be played by the most multicultural cast to appear in a Star Wars film yet. Why does that even matter? Why do we need to point that out? Why do you have to waste valuable ink by pointing out something first that we already knew? And second, you don't need to make a point of it. Why don't you point out that so far this is the first movie without a Jedi in it? I can't think of... I'm not talking Ewok Adventures. I'm not talking about Donnie Yen. Yeah, we don't know that, but Vader doesn't count. He's a Sith Lord. I mean, have you seen in the trailer, have you seen a blue or green blade yet? In fact, we haven't seen a single lightsaber. Donnie Yen is beating the crap out of some stormtroopers with a staff. It's a big stick. It's what Daffy Duck had. He had when he played the Robin Hood. He had a big stick and he was whacking people around with. Well, that's what Donnie Yen's doing. Okay. So why don't you point that out? No, instead you got to point out that it's the most multicultural Star Wars movie. Oh my God, get over yourselves. Oh my God, they're so multicultural. That's awesome. Yeah, I just want to look at the AT-ATs and explosions and talk about how, Felicity Jones's British accent is really British. I rebel. I mean... Gracious. Multicultural. The world we live in, I swear. Okay. Also want to give a shout out here to D's Electronics. You want to talk speakers for your car, for your house, come in the ceiling, come in the walls, for your boat. It doesn't matter. You want to talk about Daniel De La Torres, over D's Electronics. This guy, he can look at your house. He can set it up for you. He can design a sound system that you will love. And he can do it for a price you can afford. Check out D's Electronics, Daniel De La Torres, right here in San Antonio. He'll go where you like. He'll install what you like. And by the time he's done, you will have a wonderful home theater system. Okay, the Chewbacca Mom. Let's get into this a little bit. I talked about this for a bit on Dave Unplugged. That is a segment that I have only for Patreon subscribers. Find us at patreon.com/GYGO. Even if you contribute just the minimal amount, you're going to get Dave Unplugged sent right to you, exclusively to you. Nobody else gets it. Well, I mean, other contributors, obviously, but nobody else. All right, so the Chewbacca Mom. Has this gone too far? Let's talk about this. All right, who is the Chewbacca Mom? Chewbacca Mom is an average mom who lives up in Grand Prairie, Texas. That's in the Metroplex. Metropuke. Oh, goodness. And she went into Kohl's one day and she bought a Chewbacca mask. It is a mask of Chewbacca, puts on your face, and it makes little roars when you open your mouth. And she did a video of her unboxing it, putting it on her face, and laughing. And to be honest, it's a funny video. It really is. If you haven't seen the video, go see the video. Don't hate what you don't know. That is a refreshing beverage. I love that. So she laughs. It's an infectious laugh. I bet you can't at least smile when you watch her. I mean, it's just hilarious. And the video went massively viral. How massive? 150 million viewers on Facebook. 150 million viewers. Now, you can find it on YouTube as well, but this was a big, huge viral Facebook video. And shattered records. I mean, I think before this, the most watched viral video on Facebook had like 10 million views. So if your eyes just got a little bigger, yeah, that shows you how big this video was. So after that, Kohl's wanted to say thank you because there was a massive dash of people who wanted to buy Chewbacca masks and other stuff at Kohl's. So Kohl's sent her a $2,500 gift card and a whole bunch of toys, including Chewbacca masks for her kids. Because in the video, she said she's keeping it for herself. Oh, come on. She's a fan. You'd want to keep it too. Give me a break. So they got a Chewbacca mask for her kids and a whole bunch of toys. Go Kohl's, right? Isn't that awesome? Oh, yeah, but it doesn't stop there. Then she went on the Late Late Show with James Corden and Good Morning America. And I'm pretty sure she was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Then she got a free trip to Disney because while she's out there, Disney wanted to say thanks. Disney owns Star Wars. And so she got to meet J.J. Abrams. Yeah. Now, think about this for a minute. Okay, I can see the talk shows, right? I can see that because she's a viral sensation. She got to meet J.J. She got to go into Lucasfilm. She got to go into Disney for free. Then she got to meet Mark Zuckerberg at the Facebook headquarters. Okay, maybe you're not a big Zuckerberg fan, but the guy's worth, $11 billion. I mean, okay, all right. Maybe you can, get 100 off him or something. I don't know. And then comes the real eyebrow-raising moments. She started charging for autographs. The Dallas Fan Expo, or Dallas Fan Days, she had a booth next to John Cusack. Think about John Cusack from The Rock. Remember him? Yeah, Meet Cars. He was also in 2012. This is a Hollywood actor sitting next to the Chewbacca Mom for autographs. Charged $20 a head. Some of the proceeds went to a local church. They didn't say how much of the proceeds, but yeah, maybe $10 out of the whole thing. All right, so now she's charging people for autographs. Then came the big one. This one really pissed a lot of people off. Her kids get free college. That's right. Southeastern University in Florida got on the hype train and gave her kids free rides. And I'm not talking, okay, they'll cover their books. No. Free tuition to Southeastern University. And this is just for a lady who laughed in a mask. And now Hasbro has announced she has her own, yes, she does, her own action figure. The Chewbacca Mom action figure. I wish I were lying, but it's true. So now all the fans are starting to go, what? Are you kidding me? Free college? An action figure for a lady who laughed in a mask for about 3 minutes. Yeah, look, I can see the point of view. I really can. Why didn't Albin, like we just talked about earlier, Albin Johnson, if anybody deserves an action figure, it's that guy. Through him, millions of dollars, tens of millions probably by now, have been raised for kids. I mean, if that doesn't warrant an action figure, I don't know what does. Scott Loxley, I interviewed him on the podcast. He's a guy down in Australia who, in Stormtrooper armor, walked around Australia. Yes, all the way around Australia. And by the way, yeah, he didn't do that with a support car behind him. It was just him. Think about that for a minute. He got snake bit on the way. Yep. And then he killed and ate the snake. I kid you not. Now, that guy did it to raise money for a children's hospital in Australia. It took him 2.5 years to do it. Where's his action figure? Where's his $2,500 Kohl's gift card? I get it. There are people who probably deserve more than the Chewbacca mom is getting. I get it. But at the same time, it's not about her. Let me turn this thing around on you. It's not about her. Don't blame the mom. You blame the hype. All right. Lots of people have gotten their 15 minutes of fame. You remember the Octomom? She got her 15 minutes of fame for doing what? Having 8 kids. And then going crazy and trying to look like Angelina Jolie. Snooki was a household name. For what? For being from New Jersey? It's Jersey, for God's sake. The Kardashians. I still don't know what they're famous for. Paris Hilton had her 15 minutes of fame. And then it fades away. This too shall pass. But you don't blame her. I mean, come on. Who out there would turn down $420,000 worth of stuff? Because that's what she's gotten. If you include the trips and, the Disney passes and all that. Would you turn down free college for your kids? I don't think there's anybody out there who would do it for any reason. I don't care if you were a Vine star just because you slipped and fell in the bathtub. And for whatever reason, it was just hilarious and everybody loved it. And somebody said, all right, you get free college to, I don't know, TCU. Sure. Why not? All I do is fall in a bathtub. Nobody's turning that down. And if you say you are, you're either lying or you just don't have kids. Either way, are you going to turn down an opportunity to fly out to California, go to Disney for free, go to Lucasfilm, and meet J.J. Abrams? Nobody's turning that down, but they're offering it to her. She's not going to turn down the offer. She's not, because nobody would. But they're the ones that are making the offer. You blame Lucasfilm for making the offer. You blame Facebook. Yeah, and we all take a little bit of the blame ourselves if you watch the video, because you helped make her what she is. She's not going to turn down that type of swag. Nobody could. But they keep offering it to her. Why? Because they want to get in on the publicity. They want to ride the 15 minutes of fame as long as they can. I can't say that I blame them either. So who's to blame for all the Chewbacca mom nonsense? Nobody, really. And everybody all at the same time. Whoa, I just went that deep on you. Nobody and everybody's to blame. Don't worry about it. It's 15 minutes of fame. In a few weeks, you'll be listening to us. Of course you will. And you'll have forgotten all about it. I'll remind you about it at some point, and you'll be like, oh my God, yeah. There was a Chewbacca mom. I remember that. Oh my God. In the meantime, yeah, there'll be a lot of hate and whatnot. It's social media. That's what they do. I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, they got to find something to hate, and they'll find something else to hate. I don't know. CBS or Paramount will come out with some stupid announcement. Oh my God, they did. And people are talking about that now more than the Chewbacca mom. Chewbacca mom will fade. There'll be something else to replace the hype. Maybe we'll talk about this multicultural Rogue One cast or something, and just how awesome it all is. Gracious, give me a break. I admit it too. I'm a little sick. I admit I'm a little sick of the Chewbacca mom hype. I can't believe her kids are getting free college because she laughed in a mask. You know how many kids are graduating with tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt? And because she laughed in a mask for 2 minutes, her kids get free college? It upsets me too. It really does. But I can't blame her. I can't. And besides, if you ever get really mad at this lady, it just tears you up inside, just go watch the video. You'll feel better. I kid you not. Go watch the video and you'll feel better. It just goes round and round and round and round. Because the lady, she's hilarious. She really is. I actually reached out to her, thought maybe we could get her to come on the show for a little bit. Maybe we will in the future. I'm sure she's inundated with requests from everybody who wants to talk to this lady. So in effect, we too are kind of feeding the hype train a little bit. This is getting pretty meta. We are delving into some deep territory here. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and let's move to the fun stuff here, shall we? Let's kind of lighten the mood a little bit. This is everyone's favorite segment. It's mine. It's yours. Let's talk about who we're going to chuck into the Sarlacc pit.
What's going on?
We just got to the Sarlacc pit.
What's that?
It's this disgusting, horrible creature that's worse than anything you could ever imagine.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Everyone's thinking, oh my God, it's Hillary. Oh my God, it's Trump. Yeah, you're thinking it. You know you are. All right. So every week on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO official, every week we put up a picture of the Sarlacc pit. And I want to know, who are you going to throw in? No, you cannot throw in celebrities. No, you cannot throw in politicians, because we'd be here all night doing that, and I got to get home and, eat at some point. So no, we're not throwing them in. It's got to be personal to you. This is your time to relieve some of that stress, to let something out and just say, God, I want to throw that person into the Sarlacc pit. For example, person I want to throw into the Sarlacc pit today is that guy we all know who drives 40 miles an hour in the fast lane on the freeway. We all know who that is. There's no accident. There's nobody in front of him except for empty road. But he's just pedaling along as fast as he can at a whopping 40 miles an hour. Hey, doofus, look in your rearview mirror. You see that big line of cars behind you? Yeah, stop paralleling the 18-wheeler and get out of the way. So for me, take that person and put him in. All right, Steve Schinder is on here on the Facebook page saying the new guidelines. Hey, how about this? Saying that Star Trek fan productions can be no longer than 2 segments, each 15 minutes. It limits creativity and alienates the fans. Pun not initially intended, but now intended. Okay, that's pun not initially intended, but now intended. I get it. Funny. Okay, Nicole Rhodes is on the Facebook page saying customers who have me work up a quote which takes me about 2 hours and then never contacts me again. That's a lot of time. 2 hours is a lot of time. It really is. Think about it. This is 1 hour right here, and this hour zips on by. But you add another hour on top of it, and when you're working too, this is fun. I wouldn't really call this work, but when you're at work, and 2 hours is a long time. So for Nicole, take that customer and put him in. Alex Green from Australia, thank you very much. Scott Loxley country. Righto. No, that's English. Right, not going to do that again now, are we? No. Okay, Alex Green says, I'm throwing in the 40,000 Aussie honeybees that wrecked my roof line and made it leak. Did he just say he had 40,000 honeybees on his roof? Or roof line? 40,000 honey? It's going to be kind of a chore to throw them in. I mean, we might have to do that in 2 loads here. So go ahead and put them in. And take the rest of them too. Derek Stokely, man, this guy is into lore. This guy is into some serious lore. Marvel, he wants to throw in Marvel, Thor Ragnarok writers, for not having Amora the Enchantress as the main villain. Dude, you really know your Thor. I have no idea who the main villain is. Even now I'm reading Amora the Enchantress. I have no idea. She sounds hot though. I mean, Amora the Enchantress sounds pretty hot.
She was in an episode of season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, I never watched that either. Oh, wait. I think I did. She was the hot chick.
Well, Lady Sif was in it too.
So there was the episode with 2 hot chicks.
From Asgard.
Okay, I'm good with this. I'm very good. Seriously, how did Thor turn down Lady Sif for Natalie Portman? I get it. It's Natalie Portman, but dude, whoa. All right, anyway, getting off topic here. So for Derek, take the writers and put them in. And then this is fun. These are my favorites. I love these ones. John Musselman says, the Sith that is my ex-wife. That is, that's why we do this. Not to throw ex-wives in, but, just for the fun of it all. So go ahead and put them in. Oh, my goodness. All right, so we're getting running up against the clock here. So sadly, we can't read them all, but I do encourage y'all to leave it facebook.com/GYGO official. Tell me who you were putting into the Sarlacc pit. Alrighty, special thanks. I want to give a special thanks shout out to Alamo City Comics for being a sponsor of the show, alamocitycomics.com, and also Grawlix. I want to add them to our little list of thank you, Grawlix.com. They do, it's a webcomic app. Want to give them some special thanks as well. So this is going to start to kind of rub up against the end of the clock here for episode 2. Want to thank y'all for coming, for tuning us in on your radio dial as you're driving around the wonderful city that is San Antonio. I want to thank, of course, 9:30 a.m. The Answer for letting us do this. It's a lot of fun. It really is. And I hope y'all will come back for another show, another time, another podcast, another listen, another live stream, however you want to do it. I want to thank big shout out to all my friends in Canada, big friends up there, big friends in the UK. We're an international group, and I love it. I really do. Talking Star Wars, talking geek in the 7th largest city in America. I mean, it's fantastic. Geek is in. Geek is very in. Stay geeky. Really, because I know there's sometimes some pressure. Oh my God, hey, you're such a geek. No, stay geeky. And don't forget to get your geek on at least every day.